So up to this particular point on of our tutorial, we're able to cover a whole lot of stuff that we hear. Even if you're a beginner, some things might be easier for you to actually grab and understand. Important pandas, I've explained pandas, and I did a full tutorial on that of the pandas. So in case you're actually interested, you can actually check it out. So NumPy, I will have this. We will talk about simple inputter, standard scalar, label encoder, select best, train, test, split. I'll have that of the linear regression, the matplotlib. I did a full tutorial on this of the matplotlib. So all these things, I just made sure I did the tutorial. So in case if you want to dive in to this particular extent, so it won't be hard for you to actually understand. So for this of the how to for the match can say for the evaluation of linear models, these are for it. For the classification models, these are for it. And for the this is one of the loaded, make use of one of the Sklearn data set that is available. And here we are able to make use of some models like that of decision tree and that of the linear regression, logistic regression, both for the classification and for the regressor for that of decision tree. We're able to learn how to make use of pipeline, column transfer, how to save model and pickle. Bet you all these things what I did at this particular point at that was the beginner level. To be sincere with you, these guys, everything we did here are just the starting point of Sklearn. Like I said earlier, that Sklearn is quite broad, and Sklearn as you go on, it gets more and more complex. But if you understand these bases that we have down here available already, it's going to make things easier for you to actually understand. That's just basically it. But if you neglect some of all these basic things that we're going to have here, I will go on, because the next chapter of what we are going to enter that of, I can say, the intermediate level. When I made the intermediate level, we are going to see some things a little bit different from this of our beginner level. But I'm going to do my best to make it this beginner level that we have actually been on. So if we are to go into the full detail on the next chapter that we're going to dive in, I bet to you some of all these guys are not really quite funny to actually go into, because first of all, we're able to look at the mathematical aspect of this or linear regression, the mathematical aspect of this or logistic regression. We didn't actually go really much deep on it. We're able to understand how this decision tree actually works. But when it comes to the mass of, when it comes to that of, because in our next intermediate level, we'll be hearing those of the ensemble method. We'll be hearing things like Euclidean distance. We'll be hearing things like support vector mesh. We'll be hearing things like isolation forest. We'll be hearing things we'll be hearing things like unsupervised learning, because that's basically what we are going to do next. That is just basically it, because we have actually done with the beginners stuff. Because if you have been following up to this particular point, or if you have come in contact with Sklearn or other machine learning, can say maybe I've watched tutorial on machine learning by making use of Sklearn, you can actually agree with me that some of all these things are more of the basic stuff. So, but they're not actually basic; they are quite advanced a little bit. Like that's of the pipeline, the column transfer. Most of the times, I don't even actually use this guy, but they're actually quite useful in some cases. So what we're basically going to do next is going to be a little bit different from what we've actually done, but some of the things is going to be almost similar or almost the same thing, but we might have some strange things. So in the next stop, what we'll basically be looking at is those, or like I said, we'll be hearing some mathematical formula that's quite different from what we actually expected. So for even as we go on, we can actually work how to understand more of our data, and this of the pre-processing really where we're going to go in this pre-processing. We're going to go really more in depth on it, on how to actually train model that I can actually pre-process, not actually you make use of all these standard scalar, min-max, robust scalar to actually pre-process your data. You can actually have a model that you can actually train to pre-process your data for you. So all these things we are going to encounter them in our next, can say our next chapter, our next step on this of the Sklearn. Everything we did here, I made sure to we did the basic stuff. So for our next chapter, we definitely was going to start making use of real life data at the end of our next chapter. Then after that, we are going to go into that of the advanced level. Advanced level, at that point, we'll be dealing with database. If you have heard about Firebase, then we can actually load our model on the Firebase. We can actually save it on the Firebase, and then we can create an application with that of the Kiwi, or we can make it with that of the Kinta for desktop. We can actually create an application that we can actually forward. Maybe we want to create maybe a basic like that of tic-tac-toe game. Maybe we want to actually create a program that train a model that can actually play with the youth on that tic-tac-toe game. So the model it can actually be hosted, the trained model can actually be hosted on the server, then you can actually be forwarding and be receiving. The model, when the model make a move and you make a move, then the model is going to be pre-trained. Remember that the model has been trained, so the AI is more like introduction to AI, that of advanced level, how AI actually work. So that's basically what we'll be looking at after this of our intermediate, because intermediate is what we're actually entering next. So in the next video, basically I'm going to explain everything that we are going to encounter on this of the intermediate level that we are basically going to enter next. So I think, but don't be scared. Everything is going to be simple, like the way it has always been. Like I've tried my best to make it simple. So if you have any question, comment section is open. You can actually ask me any question if you have any. So I'll be happy to see you in the next video where we'll be doing introduction to those of the advanced level. So happy